My name is Jhanae, and I'm gonna today start a tutorial of doing my makeup. As you can see, I already started my eyebrow because I was on TikTok and their videos are kind of short. So, I started off like this and then got gently go across it to make it look fuller as I go along. And the brow makeup I'm using is e.l.f. Same as their little brush. This part wasn't included. The other one that I had of elves got loose and broke, and so I just shoved it on here. Um, so I go in and I clean this up. And that's how I do this one. Now I'm going to start with the left one, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that good at that. That side. It always ends up being messed up. I don't know why. I think both brows are like different sizes. Not because that's how they was waxed or just how they grew that way. And plus my piercing kind of gets in the way. So I always angle my brush like this to make it a line, just a single line. And if you want, you can make it more look more fuller if you want. But me, I just leave it alone after that. And then I go slowly. Now, I've noticed on some people's YouTube videos of makeup techniques, they would grab right here, raise the brow and stuff, and then it would look weird. I don't touch my brows so they can do what they're supposed to do. So I just slowly do it because I don't like messing up because it's a lot of cleaning up. Sorry, I'm looking in the mirror. Um, I didn't start doing makeup until after I had graduated out of high school because I was more so like a tomboy. So when I finally did want to go do makeup, um, I I would go on different people's YouTube videos and watch how they would do it, and then eventually I had got a lot better because before it just looked horrible. And then I did not know about Sephora until I moved to Georgia. And when I found out that because when I would get foundation, it the coverage would suck because I was getting the drug store brands, and most of them don't have um, black people's skin complexion. So it's always hard to find your complexion to that brand. So when I found out about Sephora doing the skin scan thing, I was like, "Oh my god, that's cool." So then they ended up finding my match, and I don't even remember the first foundation that I got, but I remember the price. It was like $50, and I was like, Jesus. So when I ended up moving back to Virginia, because that's where I'm from, um, I went to the J.C. Penney's, I think it was Sephora, and they was like, "Yeah, we don't sell that no more." And I was like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do?" And they was, "Oh, we have the collection." So I ended up starting to get the collection, and I just started doing my own makeup, and Now, see, I'm not good with the fading, making this part look like it's really faded into a thick part, and I do not want to butcher that. One day I will learn how to do it perfectly, and then I will show you guys. Next, after I'm done using my brow, I go to my concealer, and I make sure that I line it up. Where's the other makeup thing? Palette. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I have like two mirrors and still can't. But I use my other makeup palette. It's mirror. Um, I use the concealer part to clean up my brow because sometimes it does look jacked up. So I have to make sure that I cover full coverage for the brows, or my brows will start looking weird. It's time for a wax. Okay, so I normally use this side, and this is supposed to be, don't remember the name, to, it's a clean product. Let's see. Okay, it's this brand. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a different color. It is, I don't know if you can see that too. Nope. Mascute, I guess. SC6. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not good with certain company names that they name their brand. But I go in and I clean up this area by putting the thin part, so that way it's not getting all over the place and it's not on my eye, because I've watched, his name is Welsh, well, last name Welsh, Robert Welsh, I think. He has a brother named James, I think, Welsh. But I've been watching his uh videos, and before I seen his video, he would always will watch other people's videos, and the same mistake everybody does is put concealer on the eye to, because they think that it's gonna make the eyeshadow pop. But he said really that your eyelids have like a lot of oil, so it's not gonna really do you justice. So after I heard him say that, I was like, oh my god, I was actually doing what he said not to never do. So I stopped doing that. Um, so once you clean this part up, then I will start on my eyes, eye eyeshadow. So then once I have that set, I use my, sorry, they've been used a lot, but I think this is next brush. Um, and then I go and I gently sweep across the eyebrows to blend in the concealer that I put on my eyes, brows. Sorry, it's been a long day. Sorry. So then once I'm done with the gently sweeping across the brows. Oh, I forgot the comb this part. Okay, so after I blend that in, I take a little bit, not a lot, a little, and put it in the middle of my brow uni or whatever you call that centerpiece. And I blend that part. So when my eyebrows look like the fade effect, because I really don't know how to start the fade effect part, but that's what I use to do my fade away. And so next, after that, I use this primer. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's Wet n Wild. Yep, Wet n Wild's eyeshadow primer. So since Robert had said not to put the concealer on your eyelids, I went out and I bought this. Now, the first product that I used got was, it starts with an M. Mila, I guess. I guess that's how you say it. Or Mulaney or something like that. Well, I went to go use that and I noticed that they had PEG, PEG, in their ingredients, which is also a bad ingredient. Um, so I stay away from harsh chemicals because even though I've had a company say to me that just because they had a little bit of that bad product ingredient in there, that it was okay, and I'm like, no, it's not, because to me, I feel like you're using that on your body, and when you use that on your body, just because in the bottle it's a little bit, but think about it, you're using that product over time. So when you're using that same product over time, you got to think about it. The whatever ingredient, that harsh ingredient is sinking in your skin. So you're doing this for years. If you're like me, where I wear makeup almost every day, um, so little by little goes a lot to me. But no company is going to be honest about that because they want their money. But so I try to stay away from harsh ingredient products because they're bad for you. So I try to stay as far away from them. And I've gotten closer to clean products. And I'm a lot happier with those. So as you've seen, I had put my primer on. So I'm letting it dry just a teeny bit. So once it dries on my eyes, that's when I go to start doing my makeup palettes. And I have like a whole bunch of them. But this one caught my eye because it had so many of them. And it was really big at Walmart. So I don't know how to pronounce the little name that they have on here. So I'm not going to butcher it. But it's from Provision Cosmetics. And like I said, I got this big bad boy at Walmart. Don't judge me, Daddy. So all these, and then this is my freshly nude palette. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do, I guess I'm going to go for blue. The blue today. Because blue is my favorite color. Sorry, I'm yawning. But blue is my favorite color. And I'm going to try that today. So the next step is I am looking for my blending brush, and I have a lot of them. So I have this one from, I believe this is is this Elf? No, no, I lied. Sorry, sorry. Eco Tools. I love their brand because their brushes are very, very soft, and I really like them. Sorry, as you see, some of my brushes are a little dirty because I used them like previously, but those are not the ones I'm going to be using right now. I will be using this blending brush, and the lightest color would be I'm going to go for Afterthought, which is this bad boy. And I am going to start with a light part of the eyeshadow, because one, it's very hella pigmented, and two, once again, Robert Welsh has, sorry if I'm butchering your last name, but he had said to always start when you're blending with a little bit, then add more along the way. So I will be doing that. And let me get my other mirror again. And so now we go and start again. And I always start on this part of my eye because I want it a little darker right here. And then as I go in, a little lighter. So I see people do this, but I'll be doing it like that. Don't laugh at me, Danny. And then I go back again, and then I go closer to the crease of the part of my eye, and then I'm lightly, as you see, I'm holding the brush like this instead of like this, is because I want it to come out correctly, and it will also add what it's supposed to and where it's supposed to when you do it lightly. And if you want to add more, you just add more. When I do start to add more, I always add it over here and then slowly start to blend it in to the corner, to the crease of the eye. And so I'll now this is going to take some time just for it to get it right. Just for me to get it right. So then I do it again. This time, add more with a tapping effect, and then I go to blend. Sorry, I had the mirror all in the way. So as I'm doing this, I'll do a little rotating pattern. And you notice I've not once touched my eyelids to get any perfect any angle. It's because I don't want to mess up my eyeshadow part. So I tend to just use my eyes like I'm supposed to. Like if I want to close it to get right here, I'll do that. Or if I want to, I'll sink it in a little, the brush, and then little by little rotating so I can blend. Next color I'm going to use is, the Marina. Sorry. So once I use that, after I use the afterthought on the other side of the eye, all the excess shadow I tap so it can go back in, and then I go back. Now I know you see the lighting, and you notice that one eye is different pigmented than the other one. Well, this side I have a birthmark, and for years people kind of picked on me. I'll black your other eye, stupid stuff like that. So eventually, when I got a little bit older, I got used to hearing that dumbass shit. Sorry for my language. But I would hear it all the time. And I was very insecure to where I did not want to walk around with like boyfriends or family members because I didn't want strangers to be like, oh my god, they're beating on her. poor boyfriends, because I'm pretty sure some of them had that got that look like, you better not be fucking her up. But after I got out of high school and started doing makeup, then I was like, I want to wear makeup because I don't want people to keep asking me about my birthmark. So I started watching YouTube videos to get the makeup techniques down pat. And eventually I got kind of good, but kind of still learning. And that was also mainly the reason why I was always putting concealer on my eyes, was to cover up the birthmark, because I thought that my eyeshadow wasn't pigmented enough to cover that, because sometimes I would have, like, this side would be like popping light, like really light, and then you come over here, it's like a little kind of dark. And I would always be like, I wonder if people even notice that. But everybody comes to me and be like, oh, I like your makeup. Oh, thanks. So once I already blended with the afterthought, I go in with the Morena on the same part of the eye, and continue to blend too. I'm not going to do all the way at the top because that's where I had put the afterthought color, and I want it to look like it's fading, like lighter to darker, which would, if you were doing any, well, I mean, you can go crazy or however colors you want to do, but I always learned that you have three colors or whatever colors, but mainly three colors, and it's always the light, medium, and the dark color. And like I said, you can mix up your colors or whatever if that's how you feel, but I've always done it like that, lightest to darkest. So I'm going back in with the Morena Marina. Marina. I think that's Marina. Marina. Yes. So I go back in and I slowly but surely blend. And once I blended the color that I want into my eye, then I'm on to the left. If you hear that noise, that's me tapping the excess eyeshadow powder. Get it right. Get it right tonight. And then I think most of the time I see videos of girls putting concealer on just to on this part just to so after they're done blending up top they would do that in the crease, I mean the lid of the eye, to get whatever color that the next color that they were going to use to pop out more. But I don't use concealer anymore. Thanks, Robert. I would hope that one day you can review mine and be like, yeah, yeah, she didn't do good. She didn't do good. So after I am done with that color, I'm like, ooh, whoops, right in the glitter. Anyways, oh man, pat. So next we are going to use. I don't know if y'all see it, but it is thunder. Thunder. And again, I will be doing light and light. This time I'm going on my eyelid part, and I'm going to start tapping it in. Actually, I'm not going to use the bling brush. You know better than that, jhanae. I am going to use, what is it? I just have it. Eyeshadow C brush from Elf, and it looks like this. And that one, I will be grabbing more of the thunder, tapping the excess off, and I'm going to start gently tapping like this to add the color on. Then I do it again. Sometimes I don't like to tap my brush when I have a lot of it on the brush, because when I get to this part, I want as much Not a lot, but as much on my brush so I don't have to keep going back and forth, back and forth. And I am definitely going to start doing a tapping motion just so. And if you notice, I've closed the eye to get to that part of the crease of the eye. And going in one more. One more. Now when I don't know if everybody does it, but when I get to the lid, I don't use my blending brush anymore. I just go ahead and use the C brush. I don't know if that's the right technique that you should do, but that's what I do. Um, because it adds more pigment to it, to my brush. And I'm going to leave this part. Sorry, that looks weird, like I'm stabbing the shit out of my eye, but I need to get into the crease without trying to have my eye close as much. Okay. And I also go down uh, whatever is remained on the brush part. I use it for the bottom part of my eye, and if I run out, I add more. But that's how I do my bottom part of the eye. Okay, Jhanae, this color is looking pretty good. I really think that brown eyes pop more when it's blue. A blue color. Oh, I hope I didn't mess up my makeup palette. So now I'm going to do the other eye. And I'm getting as much eyeshadow on this brush as much as I can. And then I'm going to do the tapping effect like I did with the other eye. And make sure that you get inside the crease part, or you're going to see parts of the eyelid, like your complexion of the eyelid, instead of the eyeshadow. We're doing the tapping part again. And I'm gonna go back in one more time to do this. Well, not one more time, but more so when my eyeshadow comes out, more popping. Sorry about that. That stutter. I don't know what the hell that was, but I want to make sure that I'm doing it off of this part of the eye, because I already have two shades and I'm trying to keep the darker blue on just the lid. So I'm going to tap again. I'm going to tap, and then you just seen me do this part. It's because I was trying to get more of the blue in that corner crease of the eye. It really looks like I'm stabbing shit out of my eye. So, now I had noticed that in part of my corner of my eye, I'm missing a little bit of the blue. So I'm going to go back in the afterthought. And more. And I'm going to look before I move on to the next. And then after I have got that part, I still have a little bit more. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my eyelid. And do a sweeping of the eye. So you can see too. Right. So now next, I know I said 3, but I also mean glitter as the 4th one. So that one doesn't kind of count. That's right, I'm a rebel. So I'm going to be using, this is an elf, and I'm pretty sure this would be this type of brush, but elf version.